For those of you who are watching or will see this a little bit later, I know it's an early morning session. One of the reasons that we have to do these so early is because the Chicana Motherwork Collective, we're all mothers and graduate students or professors or in the academy in some other way by our work with students. And so our schedules during the day are really the only time that we can, access and sit down and maybe do a live screening without our little ones running around behind us. So maybe many of you won't see this until later, until you are also off of work. So since we got the beauty scholarship in the spring, it has been such a big relief for us to have won that scholarship. It has helped us secure a copy editor and allowed us to come together to work without worrying about where that extra money was going to come from to support the project. And so for those of you who may not know what our project is we came together in 2014 and we started writing together. I wrote a couple articles about Chicana Motherwork, what it means to be a mother in the academy, what it means to be a single mother, what kind of institutional support was lacking, but also how we can figure out ways to create community and to create a framework for understanding that mothers are an essential part of the fabric of our social societies, and yet we are often left to do things on our own. So since that first meeting in 2014, we went on to create to write an article together that was published where we really first defined Chicana Motherwork as collective resistance, and both in the academy and outside, because we realized that it's not just in the academy where our voices are invisible. And so then after that first piece and doing some conference presentations together and meeting up with one another, we realized that we wanted to also allow for other people to write about their experiences. And so we sent out a call for papers about our project, in which we call it the Chicana Motherwork Anthology, Sin Madres No Hay Revolución, which means without mothers there's no revolution. And we were astounded because we received so many contributions for a 16 chapter book. We received close to 90 submissions from amazing writers, scholars, researchers, activists, who recognize the importance of talking and writing about this. And we set up the anthology so that it covers 4 different areas. The first is state violence, separation. We also talk about intergenerational healing. We talk about activist mothering. And then we also talk about what it means to be, scholars in the academy. So there's these 4 broad sections. After the submissions we had to go through them, we selected the finalists, and we decided that for those that weren't able to make it into the book, we wanted an opportunity for them to continue writing. So then that's when we set up a blog where we publish stories and testimonios and auto histories from mothers who wanted to write about their experiences, and through that blog we've now been publishing since May of 2017, and all of this helped us realize that this work was important, but it also meant that we were putting a lot of extra time into a project that didn't come with a lot of financial support. We were working into that late hours or waking up extra early to have our meetings, and we would do we did one crowdfunding campaign which gave us the equipment to do our podcast. Oh, I forgot to tell you that we also have a podcast, Chicana Motherwork. You can find us on iTunes and SoundCloud, where we try to talk about some of the issues that are affecting us as mothers, as activists, as scholars, and as those who want to change some of the experiences that we have had growing up in terms of trauma and violence against women, and we want to think about new ways in raising our children. So after the blog, and after we realized that we had a lot of work left to do in the anthology, is when we saw the application for the scholarship. And we put a lot of time into thinking about how we would create that first video. We wanted to try to make sure that we reflected our experiences and also our knowledge base as mothers, and we submitted the application, and we were lucky enough to be one of the recipients. We used the initial funding to do some copy edits in our book, and we submitted it to the press this summer, which is amazing. We just recently received our first draft of the book anthology cover. Maybe Christine or Ceci, if you are watching this, you can add in the comments the photo of our cover anthology, so that folks can see it. I mean, seeing that was just amazing for us to actually see this dream come true. We have a Chicana feminist author write the foreword for us, which was another dream that we manifested. We reached out to Ana Castillo, who is known for different projects. One book, Massacre of the Dreamers, was sort of essential to Chicana feminist thought. And so she wrote the foreword to our book. And now that we are, thank you, Christine. And now that we're this close, we are going to be getting another round of edits, and then we have to index the book. So the scholarship comes in 2 payments, and so finally when we get the second half, we'll be able to hire the editor to do the indexing of the book, stuff that we just couldn't do without it, and without some financial support, and also just the emotional support. This group has proven to be really supportive, interested in the work that we're doing, and even the other communities and projects that we were up against during the run for the scholarship were very supportive, and it was an honor to be in company with them all. And the new semester is starting up again, and our lives are always divided between the balancing of the work that we're supposed to do and in the academy or for our regular jobs, plus our experiences as moms. And so sometimes this project is seen as something that is not as important or vital through the lens of the administration or whatever, and yet we know that it's important because of the kind of response we get from people who are living it too. And to get recognized by Sabbatical Beauty has been an amazing experience, and to recognize the value of our work, we can't thank you enough, because it has given us a moment to breathe. So we're really thankful for that. I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments. Maybe I'll just stop talking for a second and see if you all, have anything to add. I see, Natalie, are you still there? Dawn, Kimberly? That's true. Yes, thank you, Ceci. Yes, it's coming out. So the book is going to be out in the spring of 2019. We will definitely announce on this page when it comes out, and we're going to acknowledge Sabbatical Beauty in our acknowledgement section. And without this final without this support, we wouldn't have been able to do this final push. And there's a conference called the National Association of Chicano Studies, and we're hoping that the book is released in time for this conference. that's going to be held in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we're hoping that we can maybe do some talks around the book, and hopefully maybe even get invited to other places to share the stories of these scholars and writers who share a lot in the pages of this book, that we're going to be offering to the world soon. Thank you, Natalie, for your comment. Appreciate that. And what else? After the book, we hope you can follow us on our ChicanaMotherwork.com page, because we have the blog there. So if you want to read some of the blogs that we have published, we sometimes take a little break over the summer just because, we're going nonstop during the academic year and it slows down a little bit, but we'll be starting to publish up some blogs again in this coming month. And we invite any of you to submit to our blog as well. You don't necessarily have to be a mother. We try to highlight the experiences of women of color mothers, other mothers, people who write about mothering or who think about care work in their everyday lives or in their research practice. And so we are open to many different kinds of submissions. And the details on how to submit something is on our webpage, ChicanaMotherwork.com. And you can also find us on Facebook. Obviously, we're live streaming from that account right now. And then we can also email us at chicanamotherwork@gmail.com. Oh, and Christine says that she'll have to share the book cover on the group page instead of the comments. So I think that in a little while we'll post that on the page, and then you can see our anthology cover. Oh, and then Cecilia just reminded me that on our SoundCloud page we have 10,000 listeners. Is that right? So, and Christine says she's posted the book cover, so y'all can see that in our group. So I didn't realize that we have come to 10,000 listeners on or 10,000? No, is that right? Oh yes, that's right. Okay, 10K listens on SoundCloud. Wow, so that's really great. And again, all of this is just a little seed in our ideas that we watered and we fed, and through our non-hierarchical collaboration with each other and our belief in each other and building relationships with each other, we're trying to transform how we operate within the academy, how we're perceived in society as women of color mothers, and how we parent and mother our own children. And those of us that also teach, how we, care for our students and apply some of the experiences that we have differently, and really making that work visible. So I think that's been a lot of me talking. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And for those who might check in with us a little bit later, thank you. Thank you to Adeline, to Marisa for your continued, contact with us and letting us know, what we needed to do. We really appreciate you. Thank you, Del, for your comment. Thank you, Sabbatical Beauty, for your amazing support. We're big fans. And, we hope that you're able to continue to do this kind of support for women who are trying to create projects, that may not always get recognized. So it's been important for us, and we really want to underscore that. So if you all have any other questions, like even if we're not live later and you want to ask them in the comments, we're happy to respond at some point throughout the day as well, and to just be in continued contact. So I'm also trying to practice self-care, and I went on a walk this morning in the desert, so excuse my little attire, but I'm now going to run off to campus. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all, and have a wonderful day.